You're tuned in to New FM with your new drive goal. Sia malolele and welcome everybody to the show. I'm so excited right now. We've got a beautiful guest in the studio with us today. Talofa to Lealani Siaosi. Talofa sis, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling excited.
How excited? So
Super
excited.
Okay. Close.
We're trying to see if we're going to match the words, but I'm very excited to have you here. It's your first time here in New FM. Welcome, I guess, a little bit to our listeners. Lealani is here to talk about the Panthers series. Now, you act as Dr. Melani, sorry. But before we get into that, can you let us know a little bit about yourself? Where you're from, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. I'm from Hawke's Bay, and then I left when I was 18 to study at AUT. And then after that, I worked at Māori Television with Crystal Vainga, who is actually one of the co-producers for the Panthers. And when she left for the Panthers, she was like, "You can come with me, but it's a really big gamble." And I was like, okay. So yeah, I live with her, and now I work with Tom Hearn for Four Nights Film with Crystal. And yeah, landed on the Panthers.
That is so good. Well, clearly that gamble was worth it because now you've got to be part of this amazing project. How did you become? What was like the audition process and leading up into preparing to filming for you?
I think my process was a little bit different from the others because I was actually a producer's assistant for the Panthers, and as I was reading like the scripts with all the HODs and stuff, and every time I'd like skip to Milani's part because I found her the most interesting. And then I just called my boss up one day and I was like, "Hi, like, is it okay? I think I could be botsing it, but could I audition?" And he was like, yeah, like, go ahead, audition, but don't make it awkward if you don't get it. And I was like, okay, cool. So from then on, I just went through the audition process like everyone else, got a few callbacks, and yeah, I got the role.
I love that. You know what I love is the fact that, like you said, maybe I could be botsing it, but you know how sometimes in our Pacifica ways we're like, I'm just going to be humble and just see if they'll ask me to like, jump on something. But I mean, that's amazing. And I think it's awesome that you took a chance on yourself and you did that. One of the things, we'll be catching up as well with some of the boys in your team. But what was it like for you? I'm guessing you got to work directly as well with Dr. Melani. How was that for you? Because obviously, you get to work with an OG who was living and breathing part of, helping make the change.
Yeah, Milani, she is just this woman who knows how to hold her own. She knows how to hold space for herself as well as for others, and that's the beautiful thing about her. I was so lucky that I got to meet her and sit down with her and just have these conversations in person. Like that's not really a privilege that everyone gets, but I was so lucky that I could sit down with her. She's an incredible woman, and so are all the other fellow Panthers.
I'm gonna ask this to the others that come through later on in the week. What is something for you that you learned, whether it be about yourself or about your craft and your acting, by being part of the Panther series?
I think because this is my first acting gig, so I learned everything in that kind of realm. But I think the most beautiful thing that I took away was just the history of what happened to us, because I didn't know anything, and I feel like that is something that is very common with our people, is like we don't actually know our history because we don't talk about it and we don't get taught it, which is concerning. So for me, it was just educating myself through the process and understanding what our people went through, because unfortunately it never gets told.
Yeah, that's so true. And you're not alone. You're right. There are so many of us. I didn't even know about it till my late teens. Like I'm 30 now, and even just watching, I've got to the opportunity to watch the first few episodes prior to you guys coming through this week, and I was just like, man, there are things here that I never. Like even just the feeling alone of what I felt watching that. But I must say, girl, your style in that show, shout out to Sammy Salsa. I know he was your guys' costume designer, but you look fly in the series. And what was it like for you actually acting out like Dr. Melani?
It was kind of scary because I feel like Milani is very similar to myself. And so I actually don't know if I'm a good actress or if I'm just Milani. But we're just very similar in understanding what it is like to be a Dene Samoa. Like we just have those pressures from our families, especially Milani. She's the only girl in the series, and I'm the only girl in my own family. And so I love Milani because she is a nuanced nuanced version of what it means to be a Tene Samoa. Like, she can still serve her family, she can still serve her community, but she's doing it her way.
Yeah.
And I love that about her, because I think that's something my dad's finally understood about me, is like, I'll be the girl of the family, but I'm going to do it my way.
I love that. Hey, girl power. What is the easiest thing about being part of this project, and what was the hardest hardest thing for you with the Panthers series?
I think the easiest thing was just coming to work every day. Like, there were so many brown faces everywhere. Beautiful, stunning brown faces, just surrounded by them. And this is obviously my first gig, so I'm not used to what is normal in the industry. But after talking to the cast and crew, they were like, this isn't normal. Like, it is not normal to be surrounded by this much brown excellence. So yeah, it was stunning.
And look at you being part of that wave.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Sorry, can I just ask a little bit, because I didn't even know you were from Hawke's Bay. What's lifestyle like for, I guess, an islander in Hawke's Bay and here in Auckland?
It's rough. It's rough out there.
The struggle is real.
Well, I was like the only brown kid I think there were only like 3 brown kids in my primary.
Oh.
Intermediate, I was one of the only islanders. In my high school, it was so limited, like maybe 30 of us out of 1,000. And so it was just real narrow-minded. It wasn't very diverse. And it was tricky because, like, I was friends with these people, you know? And I still have a lot of love with them today. I hope they've taken the time to kind of reflect on things they'd said in the past and things like that. Like, but I remember one time, because I got a scholarship to come to AUT.
Yes.
I got a full scholarship, and my friend, he's a Palangi guy, and he was like, oh yeah, well, Lani only got her scholarship because she's an islander. And I was like, this is my friend. Like, he's my friend, and he thinks it's okay to say something like that, which is worrying, you know? Blatant racism, like, just subtle racism. It's concerning that they think it's okay to say things like that. But I was like, well, I'll have you know that my scholarship was based on my NCA rank score. It was based on my leadership skills. It had nothing to do with who I am. And, like, the fact that they don't even understand why there are scholarships for our people. Like, they don't get why that is.
Yeah.
So it was hard, but I was lucky enough to be able to kind of identify that and to surround myself with people who were there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
And you've pinpointed it, like reflection. You know, that's I think that's a really big thing at the moment with, you know, the apology just finishing, and now the Panther series that's about to drop this Sunday. It really is a time of reflection, and I hope people get that as well when they reflect, when they watch the series. But of course, most importantly, sis, you know, for anyone who wants to keep up with your journey as you continue with your acting career and being in the industry, where can they follow you up on social media?
Oh, thank you.
The plug.
You can find me on Instagram. It's just at Lealani Siaosi.
And of course, for anyone who may not have heard, you're probably living under a rock. If you didn't know the Panthers series, can you just let them know when and where it's going to be dropping?
Yep, so the Panthers series, all eps drop on demand this Sunday, and then it will also be on TV1 at 9:30 every week.
Okay, you know, there's some of us that might not understand the lingo, like EPS. I was like, what's EPS?
Oh, sorry, episode. Sorry, I'm just so in the industry now that
Oh, one Shane, you know the lingo now. Sorry. So you're all good. I completely love that. A big and massive whawhetaitele lava going out to Lealani Siaosi coming on through. She is acting Dr. Melani on the Panthers series, which you can catch this Sunday. But of course, sis, you know, I'm going to let you have the final words. Are there any shout outs that you'd like to make as we wrap up?
To my family, thank you for letting me leave home at 18 to come be here. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, thank you.